Uh, Mr. Zlotnick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, council members, Greg Zlotnick, state and federal contractors. Just quickly on the science plan, I appreciate the discussion very much, and particularly we very much support, Mr. Chairman, you're raising the desire to have a discussion at your next meeting about what the council would like to see. We think that's very important. Along those lines, don't want to sell the council's power on this issue short. I appreciate Dr. Goodwin talking about, well, we're developing sort of a community plan, and that's somewhat appropriate, but your charge and where we see really a lot of the value of the council is, shall we say, to shape the community plan very significantly and appropriately based on what your charge is. And I didn't want to lose sight of the fact, and Councilman Nordoff brought it up specifically, but utilizing the two-page description, it's not really mentioned here specifically. I think it might be implicit when you talk about prioritizing research and what have you. But in neither the objectives nor in terms of the principles is the issue of finance mentioned specifically and funding. And I remind the council of Mr. Fiorini's comment back when we were at the Holiday Inn, I believe. You'd asked for an inventory. And I think that's a very important step to know what is being done, how much is being spent, where it's being spent. And the prioritization of the funding is also important. And hopefully getting to one of the issues of the way it's written now, it's sort of, well, just prioritize what everybody's doing. It doesn't really say, and it may be implicit, but it doesn't really say, and maybe there are some things that are being done that we don't need to pursue anymore because they're not addressing the key questions. And yet they have a funding stream that's coming to those activities that may not be expiring for a while, but maybe those resources could be better prioritized, those financial resources. And so it would be nice to see that reflected in the discussion someplace as well. And just as an example, under the objectives, under the fourth bullet where it says prioritization of research, just adding something about end funding perhaps, and then under guiding principles, something that says maybe financially responsible as well as something to consider. So thank you very much. We'll look forward to that discussion at your next meeting.
Thank you very much. Okay, members, we have 3 items left on the agenda. Some people who want to talk on item 9 have shown up. Our panelists do not appear until 1 o'clock. And Mr. Machado, we may not have communicated that to you. No? You knew that? Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to go through our agenda in order. We're probably not going to take an early lunch break, although depending on how the next item goes, we may or may not. So let's go.